friends, welcome to IVM TV Spiritual Saturday, and this is your host Ankit Khandelwal, joining you from Delhi, India, and we have Kimberly Calhoun joining us from Raleigh, North Carolina. Good morning, Kim. Good morning to the world, and welcome to IVM TV. And we have a great lineup on Saturday. We are doing so many shows on Saturday, starting from we did a show at around 5 a.m. EST with Sharif School of Economics. It was an amazing show, and then we are here talking about Spiritual Saturday, followed by Funk from the Front Seat by Zach Robertson. Then we have a show with Tish called Plant a Good Seed. We have a show with Dr. Sabgu. I hope he will join today. And after that, we have our amazing chess stars with Sasha Star. And then followed by, we have one more Saturday night DJ show as well. So amazing show lineup. And then we are coming up with a couple of more shows on Saturday between Sasha's show and DJ night show. So we are planning on working on that as well. So
wow. Ankit, when we started this, it was 4 hours? Well, 1 hour a day, and now we got
15 minutes to 1 hour, 1 hour to 2 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and then now we are 10 hours.
I know, right? But before we get anywhere, today's a very special day. It's Independence Day, right? So happy Independence Day to my friends and my friend. May you have many blessings on this day. Maybe you can share a little bit about what Independence Day is in India.
So Independence Day is very valuable for us. I mean, a lot of people they're still alive. They're a part of that independence fight, basically freedom fight and all those stuff. Although we have very good relations with UK, so it's not like we are in some kind of fight or some kind of things going on. But I mean, it's a lot patriotic and there are a lot of things going on. I mean, once you land in India, once you start following Indian news, you'll get to know that why Independence Day is because in your country there is nothing. It's more about politics. But here we are still struggling, and a lot of people are still struggling for independence. Well, in fact, I'll tell you, I'm talking to Sharif. We might do a show, which is so after 70 years of independence. And then I think 50 years or something, maybe 35 years of independence of Bangladesh, we were having a lot of dispute with the border things. And then we have given more land to Bangladesh and took less land just to make sure that we have a single line. Because there are a lot of places where it's a part of India, but then we have a Bangladesh in between. Because of a lot of small villages and people wanted to be a part of this country or that country. So that was an amazing thing, but for that we need some detailed analysis, and I need Sharif to help me out because he understands that part and we understand this part. But there are a lot of things going on during independence, and that's why it's close to everyone's heart in India.
And it should be. And I know that you guys, every country I think struggles with some kind of freedom or independence of some kind. I don't know. I struggle with understanding it. Women still struggle in our country. They do. There is such a huge discrimination gap. We say that we have gone past it, but have I lost?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I don't know what happened.
Okay. But the thing is that I think every country struggles with their independence and freedom for something.
And also, Kim, all our panelists are looking for independence and freedom because we have put them on backstage. So it's time to.
We got to bring them out so we can have freedom of speech, because that's what IVM TV is about.
So you want to start with our special California. You want to start with Down Under or Great Britain, because I think it's time to start with Great Britain today, because we got independence from Britain. I think so. We have to invite Ben today, and then we'll start following all other people.
Yeah, Ben. Let's bring Ben.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for the day. Thank you for 15th August.
How could I not come on today?
It's Spiritual Day, right?
It's Independence Day. It's Independence Day for India.
That's right. It's Independence Day. But what brings independence? Sometimes starting with yourself, right? Sometimes freedom becomes within our own hearts. We may not be getting it outside of our bubble, and it may be very frustrating on a day-to-day basis. You may want to achieve certain things and you can't. I was just reading some articles at National Geographic, of course. Where's Rakesh when you need him? But they were talking about how women or blacks have overcome certain things in this country. But, like Nancy Pelosi was the first ever in her her position, right? And her first words out of her mouth is I broke through the marble ceiling. Yeah, we all call it a ceiling. But every day she still struggles with a lot of discrimination, there is no respect. And I think to achieve that next level of freedom and independence, I've got to learn to deal with ourselves, but also that mutual respect. I was focusing on that this morning when I was praying of what would really freedom be like. And I think it would be like what we talk about with Coach Kumar is, when we accept other people and other people accept us, right? That feels good. Well, when you feel good, that's freedom, right? Yeah. But I think when we get to a point where we can mutually respect people, that we're not shouting out insults at people and pandering and bringing people down. But I heard someone quote the other day, the greatest revenge, and I don't know if I like this quote, living well. Living well is the greatest revenge. Okay, so we're mixing revenge with spiritual good feeling, but Coach Kumar, when I heard this, I just wanted to pick up the phone and call you and go, what are your thoughts on that? Because I've always believed, if I really wanted to get back at someone, instead of wasting my time getting back at them, I just keep building myself up, right? So that to me was getting even, so to speak, like people say getting even. But maybe one day I get to that point, I don't want to get even. I just want to be me. But what is your thoughts on that quote? This is weird.
It's a beautiful quote to start the show with. And, why I was smiling, because I live with this thought. Like, this is one of the principles of my life. When I was into all those phases of low vibration life, where people hurt me and said a lot of things and stuff. But when I thought that why did they hate me, or why did they say a couple of things to me, I realized that they are threatened by you. By not the literal meaning of threatening is like you're going to kill them or say anything like that, but it is that they are threatened by your power. So when you do well, why do people hurt you? First, that question is that to pull you down from what you are doing or what you're capable of doing. So when you do what they don't want you to do, they are in the anger and frustration, and you are living your life as you want to. So that's the simple funda of it.
No, I'm glad I was feeling weird and awkward when I was thinking those thoughts, like revenge and living well. Okay, so do I really want to live in revenge? But it's not revenge. It's, you know what? I don't want to be pulled down anymore. I don't want to be down here. I want to be up here. And we got to find that strength inside us, I think, to lift ourselves up. And and it happens, don't think that just because you got up here that you stay up here. And it's okay to be down. This is what it's just okay. Go ahead, Ankit.
I just have a question for Ben, basically. I just wanted to understand the perception of people of Great Britain. Just, it's nothing against anyone, but do they know that how many people celebrate Independence Day in a year? I mean, like 62 countries got independence from Britain. So what is the perception of, citizens in UK about those independence?
It's divided, Ankit. It's divided. Okay. You have people that are ignorant, naturally, and don't really understand what it means to people from India. And then you have people that respect that it was a big day. Is that if I always look at things positively, so I'd like to think that we gave some good traits to the country. And of course, we give bad traits, as that's normal. But I like to give some good traits and good directions to India, and India then it's kind of like handing over a baby, and then they go and grow into something more mature. We've had many a conversation about your great country. It fascinates me. Every country fascinates me. There's some great facets in every country, and that's what we need to concentrate on. But of course, unfortunately, we do have the ignorant people, as we do everywhere, Ankit, that won't want to understand, I think is the key. But it's like just coming back to freedom. We've been, freedom's different to everybody. We've just been for a nature walk, you know, what's more freer than going around woods in a nature walk? To me, there's nothing really, because there's nothing to disturb you out there other than the odd dragonfly or the odd moth butterfly. But you can cope with that. So yeah, two really interesting points there. Firstly, you know, enjoy your day. It is your day. As a country, enjoy it. And secondly, freedom is different to everybody.
You know, that's brilliantly said. I want to bring up, I would just kind of, and I don't want to change the subject too much, but is it dragonfly season in your country right now? Because it is in ours. It's like they've hatched and they're everywhere, hundreds of them. So
I think it more depends where I am. I think they just follow me around more than anything.
Oh, that's
like mosquitoes.
That's a very good sign. Dragonflies are beautiful signs of spirits. They really are. Well, at least in our native spiritual world, we believe that dragonflies are a very big spirit. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But I saw thousands of them like hatching out of a field the other day and just coming out, and it was beautiful. So
I mean, Ankit, there's some pictures on my. I mean, Ankit, you're the king of sharing. There's some pictures on my Facebook. The album's called New Works. If you want to share and have a look, while we're on, there's some dragonflies on there. I think of them.
I want to talk to Willie here in a second because he looks different. But Jim, you got your hands raised.
Yeah, I have now several questions, and the first one is, I wonder what locust spiritual life is like. If dragonflies are a good spiritual sign, what are locusts? But I'm just teasing. I really wanted to ask Willie, do you have an Independence Day in Australia as well?
January the 26th.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
Really? Wow.
excuse my ignorance because I did not know that. But I wonder what Independence Day in the United States, Independence Day in India, and Independence Day in Australia have in common.
Freedom of another country.
A national holiday?
A national holiday.
Celebration.
I know what he's going to say.
Yeah.
Freedom of Britain.
Freedom from the UK.
I picked that up straight away, Mr. E.
Yeah, I know, man. That question was for you. I asked the panel, but you know I was talking about you. Nick's not here, so I had to do it.
Yeah, bring back Nick. Bring back Nick.
But I do think that, you know, because my show is Chess Without Borders, and I'm just fed up with the idea of borders because they're imaginary lines on a map. And, you know, why can't we be global citizens? Why can't we be one world, one family? And why are we saying, okay, this part is Bangladesh, this part is India? Why are we still stuck in that mindset? I have no idea.
The consciousness of the individual needs to rise. Then you can have global perception. If they haven't risen, then you're just going to have these small pockets. And that's globally. You need to rise.
I can drive north and be in Canada, and I'm just talking to people just like me, going through their lives just like I go through my lives. I can drive south and I'll be in Mexico and see the exact same thing. So I just don't know why we're still talking about independence from each other. You know,
I'd counteract that, Jim. There's something very unique about different countries. And I understand what you're saying, and in a way I kind of agree, but I kind of like the different cultures that we create with the borders. Yeah. But the key then is we've got to learn from each other's cultures, if that makes sense. So what people don't do is they do see it as a line, and I think I'm not crossing that line. Whereas what we should be doing is say, okay, great, we're all brought up in where we're brought up in our countries of birth and things like that, and we enjoy that and we get involved in our natural cultures. But then as you get older, as you get into your teens and your young adult, that's when you need to go and experience different cultures, so you open up your mind. So I kind of disagree but agree, if that makes sense, Jim.
No, I understand what you're saying, and it's an interesting puzzle, because I think, well, you know, when I grew up in New England, and New England people don't usually leave New England, you know, because they know their culture, they know what they're like, and they're comfortable with it. And so just going to the South for the first time was a culture shock for me. So I understand the nature of culture and how that is something that is naturally developing. because we can't be everywhere in the world at the same time. So we have to be where we were brought up. But I think that where we're in agreement is that you've got to experience and appreciate other cultures.
Definitely.
And you've got to experience them. You can't just stay where you were brought up. Otherwise, your mind never expands.
But we don't explore our own culture enough. So how are we going to explore other cultures? You know, we don't know everything's in our own states or countries or counties or wherever. So how are we going to discover other people's worlds? I don't know.
That's a good point. You got to, I think, all too often, I don't think we explore our own. I can remember one time saying, you know, I've traveled all over the country and been to so many great, wonderful places. And somebody go, well, what's to do in Raleigh, North Carolina? I go, nothing. I have no idea what to do here. And then one day we decided, you know, once every other week, we're going to go downtown and we're going to acquaint ourselves with all the different elements in our own city and see what's going on, or go out into the woods, not my backyard, but into like the parks and things like that. And, you know, so I think you're right. I don't think we explore our own selves, but it's just independence is an interesting theory. And I think everyone celebrates these beautiful days. I think, like Ankit said, is it just another day that we get to celebrate? I think you guys got more celebrations than anyone.
Oh, here they come, the dragonflies?
No, what's that? What's he got here?
I don't know.
So Ben, you need to guide me. Should I go down?
Get to photos.
Welcome to live TV, everyone.
Yeah,
So
get
we are
to
having-
photos.
Oh, look at the kids. Wow.
Get to photos.
Oh,
Cute.
older now. That's an old photo.
No, photos. Yeah,
There I am. Oh, sorry.
yeah. Jim's just looking for himself.
Yeah.
Albums.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
And then the Nature Walking New Works, that one.
This one.
That one. Yeah, that one, yeah.
Oh, check it out.
And then
Wow.
it's gonna flick through it now, yeah. Then I just go through, yeah.
Oh, wow.
We have that in common.
Yeah, that's Telford, that is.
Oh.
This is also common. This is the favorite part of Willie's day-to-day life.
Oh,
Yes,
going
hugging
out
the
and-
trees.
Wow.
That's the broken tree.
Wow.
Willie would hug it back to life.
Look how cute they are.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Can we stop? Can we
then-
You
stop?
have your hands full.
Oh, every kid everywhere has made that face.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was making that face behind the camera.
You got two different personalities there, don't you?
Yeah, we do. But this is freedom, isn't it? You know, we're out in the open air. It's freedom.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I love it because we had two boys that came to live with us, two brothers, and two exact personalities, just like that. Love it. Oh, wow. Look at the butterfly.
I know. That's not a dragonfly.
No, the dragonfly's coming. Don't worry, Jim.
Okay.
That's just a pair. That's just the purple.
The dragonflies are going to be, ooh, the bells. The dragonflies here, they're going to be in hiding for a while because we've had a river of rain, like just downpour, like a river. It's
Because of the
coming out.
hurricane or just...
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Aha.
And I think the next one's a better picture. Yeah, but there you go. Look.
Yeah, we want to see their wings.
Yeah, if you try catching them when they're flying, it's difficult. There
Oh,
you go.
yeah,
There's the
there it
wings.
is.
There's the wings.
There the wings are. See, that's magnificent.
You kind of want to be
Wow.
careful with them too because they're so delicate.
Oh,
yeah.
And there are so many different varieties, right?
There are.
So many different varieties.
This one has a British visa. This dragonfly.
Okay, this is the British one.
No, that one's Dave.
Okay, that was Dave. Okay, we got them named now. I love it.
They look pretty free to me.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's freedom.
Wow. Oh, so what kind of
Butterfly.
flowers are those? Do you know?
I don't know the flowers now. As I say, it's
But I think
in a bush.
The flower color is matching with the Jim's shirt. So Jim.
Yeah.
See, can you do that? Can you get a picture of Jim and the picture of them flowers together and see if you
just blend
can Jim in?
Maybe that's where the idea for the shirt comes from, is when people see the flowers and they just kind of.
I think so.
Yeah.
This one has got fish on it, so it's got leaves and okay. So.
I think the nature just kind of calms you down. Isn't that interesting? The aspect of it. But I got to talk to Willie. You look different today. Did you do something different to your hair or something?
No, I don't think so.
I think
I don't know.
Oh, I had a shave, yeah.
All right. Something like different. Something
It's a
like
different angle for Billy.
No, I've shifted the way my laptop sits.
Yeah.
yeah,
different
you
angle.
got a different backtop. Yeah,
Mm.
you got a different backdrop. So okay. How are things down under, Willie?
They're good. They're good. We're still in lockdown, but other than that, during this lockdown, we've been renovating our bathroom and laundry area. So we've moved out so that they could do that.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, that's been done. That's
on
almost
lockdown.
finished. That was just before they announced the stage 4 lockdown.
I see.
So we were lucky that we got that in, because otherwise they wouldn't have given us the permits.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I've noticed recently is not that I don't get to watch TV much, but yesterday I kind of stopped to watch a little bit of TV, and I noticed that all the commercials, like people are wearing masks on all the commercials, like, the insurance commercials, the guys who come out and fix your air conditioner, they're all wearing masks now. I thought that was interesting.
So the commercials have changed here as well. In India, every time, like anything and everything, it connects the product with the immunity. That's
Right.
what they're doing. Immunity booster syrup, immunity booster tablets, even the AC on the fridge is also giving you some type of immunity now. So everything is immunity booster, and the series which comes, like the new shoot which was, and it was so funny to look at them. Like there are cops who was going to investigate. They all are wearing masks when they are sitting in the jeep, but when they reach the crime scene, all their masks were at their neck.
Under the neck. No, people. We can't do no hanging on the ear, no under the necks. I posted from the sign from Duke, right? Duke Medical Center posted up a sign of all the do's and don'ts of a mask, because people are getting it wrong. Yeah, don't do that. They beg people not, because if you happen to have it, you're just going to spread it to yourself. So. And I don't understand putting it under the chin. They have these scarves. I don't know if you've seen them, but they've been converted to masks where you pull them up to your face. But all you're again bringing stuff back up to your nose. So it's what they show is you carry a paper sack. I don't know why a paper sack.
Yeah,
they
not plastic paper. Yeah.
Right, paper sack and a paper towel. And you take this and you put the blue side down onto the paper towel, and then you slide it into a paper sack. And that's how you're supposed to maintain them. And I'm going to have to tell my grocery store that, because they keep masks out there for people, because they say so many people come without masks. And that they have a rule now. Nobody's allowed to shop without a mask, where they've had a lot of fights in our town where people would come in, and then you would have the people in the store fighting, and it would be real fist fights.
Wow.
And so they have a rule down here. You're not allowed to enter the doors without a mask on. And at first, a lot of people in the area were, I mind the rule, but you had a lot of people who were like, no, well, then don't shop here. That's what our manager said. Then go somewhere else, And but they keep it in a plastic bag, and I'm like, but they had it on a paper towel. I have to give them credit. They had it on a paper towel. So I don't know why that's so important, but I'm following the rules of the doctors.
If you got in a fist fight, I would have your back. I would be right behind you.
I'm not going to get into a fist fight. thrown my fist once or twice, but you know, it's the rowdy Texan in me.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's the Southern gal, but no,
You
it's
can take the girl out of Texas, but
and you can't take the Texas out of the girl. I've even had somebody kind of break into our house one time, and they had guns, and I got right in their face.
Coach Kumar, you need to talk.
Not
to
the smartest. I'm not the smartest. I'm the bravest, but not the smartest. But yeah, I did. I got. They had the wrong place. It was bounty hunters, and they were looking for somebody. You live in the country. You never know who's going to come to your door. But
Coach
that
Kumar,
won't
you
happen
got your
again.
own show now?
Oh wow! What is this?
I don't know. Oh, he's showing us some masks. How to take care of your microphones.
Oh wow! That's smart. That's very smart.
Is it?
No, it's funny. He is just covering the mics and the microphone and removing his mask, thinking that he won't get infected. So this is one type of mentality.
It's different, right? Everybody's trying to be different. It's hard to speak in there. And I think for people who are speakers or have to talk, we're going to have to, okay, here I go again. I'm going to invent something again, and somebody else is going to run with it, and that's fine. Because, you know, Egg Kit and when we were having to talk about that, and somebody's taken off with one of my ideas, and and I'm glad they're making money with it. But I was thinking, especially for people who have the good cloth mask, make sure you wash them every day. But you put a little mic or a mic here, right? And then when you're talking, it comes through your phone or something. But we're going to need something because some people don't know how to speak through a mask. They don't project well. And it's very, very hard to hear.
So we're waiting for the eye mask to come out.
Well, that's what I said. You're going to need a mic of some kind. And
Apple's all over that.
That will happen only in Silicon Valley. Eye mask.
Yes. Well,
yeah, only. But here's another thing. We had
eye mask.
An eye mask. We got an eye mask now.
they're going to run with that idea too, Kimberly.
I know.
So, Jim, are you also working on eye COVID?
What?
Eye COVID?
It's definitely intelligent.
We can't have our phones too close together now. There has to be social distancing between our phones.
All right. There was an earbud, right? And a very intelligent earbud. The guy was from Germany that developed it. And he was getting it so that you could touch your cheek and it would adjust it up and down. And eventually, I guess they were hoping to have more of where your voice was carried into it a little bit better. Very intelligent developer. And who knows, maybe he's working on something where we can speak through our mask. But there are new masks coming out. I don't know if you've seen them. They kind of scare me. They're clear plastic. And I'm like, okay, how do you breathe through them? You know, so I'm curious about the plastic masks.
But let's not get Spiritual Saturday too distracted by
COVID, right?
But I think before we start Spiritual Saturday, I have something to share, and then I need feedback, and then Anand and I will continue Spiritual Saturday.
Okay. We'll give you feedback.
Wow.
I know, that is wonderful.
I can't believe it.
Ankit is busy. Let me tell you, Ankit is.
I call him Tony Stark now because he's Iron Man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, he's on every time I'm on. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Bruce Wayne.
But that is a wonderful intro.
I get all the powers from all the people on IBM TV. So I get a lot of powers from different time zones, and then I work it out accordingly.
Yeah.
There you go. He's tapping into each and every one of us, and we don't know about it. Right?
So is this
He's like
Saturday or is this Soul Smart with Amanda May?
yeah, but that's what he's doing. He's tapping into every one of us, and he's drawing his energies. You know, he's that.
I have a breaking news for all our. I have a breaking news for all our Indian audience around the world. One of our top cricketers, MS Dhoni, retired today.
Oh,
Who?
Who?
really?
Ben knows it, and I think Willie also maybe have an idea, and Anmai knows it. He's one of our top cricketers in India. He got, he took a break, and then he took retirement today.
Can you show a picture? Do you have a picture?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, Ben also having a picture of MS Dhoni. Yeah, why not?
Oh, he's my crush. I'm sad now.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about Independence Day for
He is about 90. Old Mr. Dhoni. I mean, he's been playing for about 50 years.
Coach Kumar.
Well, I'm not the only one who gets crushes. Is that right, Coach Kumar?
Oh,
Look at this.
Tell you what, he's a hell of a player. Hell of a player.
Yeah.
so Coach Kumar, what are you going to do on Independence Day? What do you normally do?
So earlier we had, when we were allowed to go out, we had a flag hostings and sweet distribution, a lot of patriotic songs, cultural events, speeches from our politicians and leaders. But this time, because it's a COVID time, so in our society, they did the flag hosting. I did not go because I just don't want to be any of the crowd. But I heard that people were following the social distancing and wearing masks and taking all the precautions. And there were songs going on, patriotic songs going on since morning till the flag hosting time. It's sort of a celebration. Then in the evening, I saw a couple of kids flying the kites. So it's one of the expression of independence that you fly kites. So it was a very colorful sight to the evening.
Kite flying is fun. I don't know what it is. We haven't done it in many, many years, but it is something energizing about it, right? That you got control of something, you're flying, something that keeps going higher and higher into the sky. I mean, there's something magnificent about being able to do
fascinating.
Something.
Yes.
It is. It's daydreaming too.
Yes.
I used to love to go to the big, California would have the big kite competitions, especially in San Diego. I remember in San Diego when I was going there a lot. And these big, huge kites, I mean, kites bigger than my car, right? And they're pulling them up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but even the smallest kites, like I would have pocket kites. They're the kind that you don't have to have sticks in. And even the smallest kites can be fun, right?
Well, Coach Kumar, explain to me, why do we have this fascination with flight? It seems to me that we love the idea of kites in the air because we want to be in the air flying ourselves.
Where's Ben?
Yeah, because we feel trapped in our emotions, in our society, in our thoughts. So whenever there is an idea to fly free, or be in a space where there is no boundary, it attracts us.
It does. You're absolutely right. And it's the freedom from feeling trapped. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Because what is independence? Independence is getting away from a trap. It could be any trap. It should not be. And I love the question which Ankit asked me earlier, that what I feel about the spiritual independence. So it's not that I can teach you spirituality or you can teach anyone else spirituality. You can just tell them what you feel or what your view about spirituality is. Spirituality is all about getting into a bigger ocean of opportunities and freedom of expression where you don't have, as I just said, that I have a crush on MS Dhoni. Earlier, I would probably, oh my God, thousands of people are watching me. How can I say that I like him or I have a crush on him? Or I'm a coach, I'm a healer. How can I say I'm sad? But all these are just one of my emotions, which I feel. And when I can express them freely, I'm independent. And that comes, and as we were talking about what you said earlier, Jim, that why we can't live without orders, because we start talking from me, then we talk from we. So M is like this and W is like this. So just you turn the M and it becomes
Yes.
so you have to turn your view from me to we, and then it's from my to our, and that's how you become the global citizen. It's not that I don't like I worked for UK for a couple of years, so that does not mean that I got a freedom like my country got a freedom from UK, so I have to be furious about them all of the time. When I am heard, I am respected, and I have all the freedom to speak about whatever I feel. That's just independence to me. So whenever you see anything flying high, why you like birds, why you like dragonflies or
Yeah.
fireflies? Because you cannot bound them. If you bound them tightly, they will die.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened with us human. We get bounded in our emotions and the society, and then we feel trapped and suffocated, and a piece of our soul dies.
And you
So
feel your shoulders way down,
yeah,
and
that,
when you feel
so
free, your chest is out, your shoulders are back.
yeah, sure. I just wanted to share one thing.
Yes.
So when you have your lower back pain, that is your fear of money, lack of financial support. Okay. When you have your middle back ache, middle back pain, that is because of the guilt of something, feeling of stuck in the back there, like stuffed in about something. And when you start saying get off my back, that's the feeling when you feel the pain in your middle back, and your upper shoulder feels uh, heavy or have pain when you have lack of emotional support, feeling unloved or holding back your love. Like when you do not express your love, then also feel your shoulder feels heavier. So just in back, you have three sort of emotions, and there are different affirmations to ease them, release them, and feel very nice. If you have ordered the book I said yesterday, you will get all this in that. The book we spoke yesterday about. You can
Yes.
heal your life.
So
So
there,
yes,
go
Yeah.
ahead. No, go ahead. I'm gathering this information.
Yes.
So this is very good information. We always call the lower back pain, um, that men are getting older, right? When they start getting that lower back pain, the midlife crisis. We also called it. My doctors would say weekend warrior, right? That you've worked hard all week, sitting in a chair, and then on the weekend you try to do all of these things, but you're not stretched out, right?
yeah,
But it's interesting that you said financial worry, because that's sitting in a chair all week, working all week to prepare. We're not doing all the healthy, maybe 15 minutes a day, take a break, stretch, loosen up those joints and
yeah.
free ourselves just a little bit from that financial worry. But that's interesting. I love this. This is
So
beautiful.
there will be physical pains as well. If I go, if I'm walking and I just hit myself to a wall or to maybe to a door, I will have a physical pain. But what if you have a persistent pain without a reason? Like people say sometimes, as Kim was saying yesterday, that couple of doctors says all your pain is here. It's not here. Your body has a different memory system.
Here.
Your body has a completely different memory system. It doesn't work only from here. Yes, your entire body and emotions and good hormones, bad hormones, everything is controlled from here. But your body has altogether a different memory system, and all these emotions get stuck. And the science behind it is that when you think about something, all these body parts have neuroreceptors. And when you think a particular type of thought continuously, neurotransmitters are secreted from your brain. They travel in your bloodstream and they go and fit like a lock and a key in that particular organ or the part of the body. And then the circuit is completed and the pain or the illness starts manifesting.
Well, Coach Kumar, when you're practicing Reiki, are you finding you can feel that energy block in a certain
Yeah.
part of your body?
Yes, it does. It does. And especially when you do a lot of grounding work and you work on your chakra as a Reiki channel, then it's even if you're not putting your hands on the person, ask them to just lie down on their stomach. And when you put your hand through their spine like this, you will
Yeah.
feel the vibration as we made the energy ball.
Right.
You will feel the vibration somewhere. It will push your hands up. Sometimes it will come down, sometimes up, sometimes down. So you will know where exactly is the blockages, which is the low vibration chakra, or underactive chakra, or overactive chakra. You can all yeah, it's very prominent. If you do your, if you fill your cup regularly, there's a lot of thing to pour out.
Man, I'm going to tune into this Soul Smart show regularly, I think.
Well, here's the thing. Something I learned from Children's Week at the Financial Educational Week that the Federal Reserve hosts every year for children. They did a essay contest about physical fitness and financial fitness and why they're so important. And one young girl who won, she wrote that if you are not physically fit, it doesn't matter how much wealth you got, you're going to be spending all of your money on becoming physically fit. And so she said there's a balance there, right? But if you're physically fit and not financially fit, you're going to be worried all the time, and that's going to cause you to fall back and get sick again. So there's this sustainable. Her whole thing was, she didn't really know the word sustainable at the time, but her whole thing was to find that sustainable benchmark, right? And find that balance. And not too long ago, I heard this graduation speech, and I'll have to, I forget the gentleman who gave it, but I think his last comment to everyone was, he gave them 10 things to think about. But one of his main points is no matter what, keep your body in shape. No matter how old you get, you can't go back and fix it sometimes. So no matter what, keep your body in shape. Keeping your mind in shape goes with body. When you're physically building up your endorphins, and you get that rush, you feel it up here too, right, Coach Kumar? When you breathing in deep and you get that oxygen that's building up inside you. Swimming does it for me. When anything in water does this for me, and I just think that you've got to find that balance. And but I loved what he said, that you can't get it back. That's one thing you can't get back. So
I agree there, Kimberly. I've had 12 knee operations.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm across both knees, so I'm very limited in what I can do physically. But I do a lot, as you can tell, I do a lot of walking with the dogs and the kids, etc. And I actually find that's the best mental exercise I can get is the walking, because out in the air, it just releases. You think a lot clearer. There's nothing clouding your mind. Do you think, Coach Kumar, do you think that's related as well? Do you think that the physical and mental exercise is important, and that you use when you're out in the open air? Because a lot of people go to the gym, and of course they've got things going on around them. The actual open air exercise is probably just as important.
You agree with that, Coach Kumar?
Yes. So as I said, that whenever you get time, so when you exercise outside in open air, your breathing pores are opening, because there's a science where you do not breathe with both your nostrils at one time. One is active, one is inactive, and that you will feel when you push one nostril and then you breathe. One nostril breathing will be easier, and the other one will be heavier, and they always change in 6 to 8 hours.
And we're all just trying to breathe through both nostrils at the same time at the minute, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not until somebody says things like that you realise that.
Yeah. So most of the time, and it also signifies that which energy in your body is activated more. So left is generally said to be the feminine energy, and right is the masculine energy. So and it changes, and that's why we are in balance, because every 6 to 8 hours the nostril changes. But then when you notice it, you will notice that if you're a man, your right nostril will be more active than your left one. But I love the expressions, Jim. That's so distracting, but I
That's
like it.
interesting.
We've got to watch this back and see ourselves doing this.
I've never watched myself on shows. I can't.
Absolutely fascinating,
And
Coach.
then also when you go outside, you get in touch with the nature, wherein that helps you ground. Because when I said that in this time we cannot go out to do the grounding, but I would love, I would when earlier when we were allowed to go out, I'd love to sit in the grass in Padmasana, or dig my feet in mud, or just walk barefoot in the grass.
Yes.
So that would give you more simulations, and all these good hormones get secreted. So obviously, working outside and inside. So in a gym, you are working out. There are 10,000 other people who have came and gone. Their breaths are there, their sweats are there. No matter how much disinfection they are doing, but still they are circulating the germs. Outside, there's no such thing. It's the complete.
I've got a crazy
nature.
idea, Coach Kumar. I've got a crazy idea. Tell me if this is weird. But I think hugging a tree actually is helpful.
Yeah, it is. It does. I was just noticing Willie, and we all are talking, laughing, and everything. He's just closing his eyes and sitting with himself for a quite long time. And that's very difficult to do, because I got distracted with your face. But he was just sitting there and just meditating in his own way.
Right.
Talking of trees, Jim, and hugging trees, on a BBC program called Countryfile last week, they developed a microphone that you put it right up to the tree. You can hear the tree drinking.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like a river flowing through. It drinks that much. But if you can get iPlay in the different countries, have a look at it. Countryfile from last Sunday, absolutely fascinating. It was.
Trees drink over 100 gallons of water. Maybe it's 1,000 gallons of water a day. The big tree, not the trees in near wood forest. They drink far more than that, but they drink our water table out. And I've never thought to listen to them. I would love to do that.
It's a really specialist. It's a really specialist microphone. But yeah, it was on a program called Countryfall last Sunday. If you can replay that for
Willie, can you feel if your tree is thirsty?
Yeah.
I would. Mine is based mainly on weather. But previously, because I used to get up at 4 a.m., I knew that the morning dew would come through.
Yes.
And that's when they would get their drink. And that's when I walk my dogs. But both of my dogs have been put down, so
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm missing the morning walk.
I am so sorry. That is a big thing. That is dogs make us get out and walk. That's one thing I like about dogs. Well, plus they love you, right? But they bring good spiritual healing in a home as well as protect it. If your dogs will let you know when something's not right. You know what I noticed about dogs is they can sense people that aren't good. They have sensibility that is unreal.
All the animals
dogs like me, so
there's
something wrong with that theory.
No, I mean, it's just weird. And my dog hated the UPS guy. I don't know why. He always seemed really nice to me. It was the same guy. It was the same UPS guy for almost 35 years. And he never looked like he aged either. Like, he looked the same for 35 years that he'd been coming to our door. But my dog hated the sound of the truck, I guess. I don't know, but it would pull into the drive. And
did he only make deliveries at night?
No.
Okay.
He was. So it was interesting, though, you would say this. It was either 10 o'clock or 5 o'clock at our door. So he had a route, right? It was just interesting. What was interesting was he never aged. This was the scary part.
Now my first thought was, I know why he's not aging, but if he goes out in the daylight, then maybe I'm wrong.
There you go. But it's 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock every day. And they're so funny. But my dog just, the hair would rise up on the back of her neck, and it's like, but she would never attack him. If he ever made a move, she would, right? But I would be there signing the paper or whatever and taking my box. But boy, she was right there the whole time, like one step out of line, buddy, and I'm going to eat you.
I wanted to go back to what you were saying about physical fitness, how you can, and you and I have both been laid up for periods of time, and how your muscles can just atrophy so easily. I've always said that it's harder to get back into shape than it is to stay in shape. This is one of the things that I think people, and this gets back to the weekend warrior idea too, because when you're not using those muscles and then you suddenly try to use them, you're bound to injure yourself. So, to stay in shape, and I don't mean like triathlon shape, but I just mean physically healthy. That is important for your physical and mental well-being. And I think also for your spiritual well-being. I think they're all connected. And it's easier to stay in shape than it is to get out of shape and back in. And I think that, Coach Kumar, is that true for spirituality as well?
Yeah, so when we talk about the triangle, it says mind, body, and spirit.
But can I get out of spiritual shape and then have a harder time getting back in? Or should I just stay in spiritual shape? Or is this nonsense that I'm speaking about now?
No, okay. So
it's discipline. It's not nonsense. It's discipline. But go ahead, Coach Kumar.
Yeah. So it's as Kim is saying, it's not nonsense for few people. It is right. So what I was reading and researching about things are like people are drawn towards spirituality these days. Everybody's learning some or the other modalities and then say, "Oh, I am the world savior." So when they get into that spiritualized ego, which I say is very difficult to get rid of. When you become a healer, a channel, or a spiritual person, you are always work in progress. You will never become superior or inferior, because then you just let go, you strip away all that attachment of being superior or saving the world. So I know a couple of people who just learned one or two modalities and then they are becoming the savior. They always message me, "Oh, I did this. I draw this symbol." So you will relate to it, Jim. I drew the Reiki first symbol, and they will name it. We are not allowed to name it though. They will name it, and I said this, and this work has happened, and they will stay in that level, and they don't want to come out of it. They're happy in it. So that is not spirituality at all. But what you and I are talking here is, okay, as I said, that there was a time for me when I was not meditating. I was missing my father very much because I lost him and I did not get time to grieve about it. So when the lockdown started, I had a whole lot of time to think about a lot of things. Then I started grieving, and then I used to hear him because I'm an auditory person. So the last call which he made to me, I that kept like it played like a recording in my ear.
Yes.
And 3 to 4 weeks, about a month, just before I started the IBM TV work, I was in a shape that I had to take coachings from people like my colleagues, my friends. So that is something I realize is going out of shape spiritually when you're not connected, we are not doing things consciously. But when you realize that, okay, this is not serving me any good, you come back. You come back to your own discipline and your own routine. So that's how it works. It's as you say that sometimes today my friends were home. I ate like crazy kid. Like my mom made some sweets and she made some savory stuff, and we ate like he's my friend from when we were in kindergartens. So like very very small, like we call that the chuddy buddies, very small friends. So we ate like crazy kids as we used to eat when we were in school. And then okay, I know that I have overeaten, my calories had gone up, I had taken extra amount of sugar. I know it consciously. But what when the time when I get out of the shape is when I continue doing it.
Right.
But I
So it's
know
an
that I
awareness.
did it.
You have
Yes,
to
I
become
know
aware.
that I did it. Yes, I know I did it. And I have to do things to reverse it as well. So that's that, and it goes for all your mind and body and spirit, everything. It's not that you have to starve to death to come into a shape. It's just that you have to do the conscious eating, as Dr. Shagu also says, that you have to eat consciously. That what is going in. There's one of my aunts who says it who phrases it very beautifully for us. That the journey from here, the tip of the tongue to the end of the tongue, makes the hell lot of changes in your body. You love fried food, you love pizza, you love sweets, you love everything. But what it does when it gets into your stomach, the journey of 4 inches is making a hell lot of difference in your body.
I
So
think
you need to be very conscious that what you're putting on your tongue.
I think physical fitness we complicate as well, Coach, don't we? We complicate physical
Yes,
fitness.
yes,
We think we
yes,
think right because we think tomorrow, right? I'm going to go and do 5 mile. It starts with small steps, doesn't it, around the block?
yes. Yeah, it has to. And we have made up physical fitness as like in a very different way we have put it. It does not mean that you have to have 16 inches of muscles or like forearms, upper arms, and all those six packs, chest, and everything. If you can climb your stairs, if you can walk for miles without losing your breath, that is a physical fitness, and that fitness can come in any shape and size. You don't have to be lean and thin and a person like who will break from between. You don't have to be like that. Yeah, you can do it. If you are if you're 50 kgs, 60 kgs, or 70 kgs, depends. I have seen people who are like 35, 40 kgs who are very lean and thin, but they do not have stamina. We'll not call them a physical fit person. A physical fitness is that your ability to do things in every shape and size, and that's how the stamina and the physical fitness should be measured, and not by how many packs you have.
But is there a way to measure spiritual fitness that the way you're just describing measuring physical fitness?
Yes. So it is when you do not get bothered by a lot of things. It is that you're always there, able to, not always, but most of the time you're able to step on the other side of the table and think about the situation. It is not always that why me, how this can happen to me, or if someone is doing something which you do not like, but still you do not, it does not mess the peace of your mind. You're still peaceful, you're still calm. If a problem comes, you are able to pull that problem from here to here and then see it, and um, then work around it. That okay, now from here I can just see there's something blurry coming up, but when I pull it here, I see okay, four fingers, one thumb. Now what do I do? So that's how you can judge your spiritual fitness.
Do we not all see things there immediately though? Do we not every problem we see there immediately? Is it the
Yes.
case of the spiritual fitness then comes when you can take it away? Is that what you're saying? Because
Yeah.
we all see it there, don't we?
So then what happens that it's a human nature. Okay, we are born with this, that anything which will come will get oh my god, what happened to me, or it will be here. But when you are spiritually fit, you will be able to pull this away. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in a day or two. You will not keep it here, which we were talking, poor me people. So poor me people always keep it here so that nobody can blame that okay, you have done this or you have done that. So they
Well,
always pull the problems away.
one of the things that because I think you're right that we're all like this, and Ben is correct. This is the first thing, and you don't want to react to this.
Yeah.
What you want to do, and what I tell myself is to pause, take a time to consider, and then you can react. And I don't have to react to that because it's not immediately threatening. So it's out here now, so I can think about how do I want to behave. So my behavior when it's like this is one thing, and my behavior like this is another. And
Yeah.
I have found that my behavior like this is more pleasant way to live than when I'm reacting like this.
This situation feels so claustrophobic, or maybe so suffocating when you have a lot of problems going on. What I did initially, because it's very difficult. I do not say that you will learn it in a day or two. Like one fine morning you wake up and things changes. But yeah, you do. Nobody has that magic wand that they will just do the tongue on your head and everything is gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. So I started not noting down my problems. That okay, I have this problem, this problem, this problem. Which is the highest one? Which has the highest priority right now? So then you start like funneling them or prioritizing them, because I will like it's for every this thing for every people, that you will not have one problem at a time. You will have 10,000s of them. But then what happens is we keep all of them here, and then we do not know that, okay, this one needs the most attention because this is at the highest peak and this is at the lowest peak. So, but if it's here, we start from starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or from this way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the time we reach to the highest problem, there's a lot of other things which have occurred and taken over it.
Well, let me give you an example of what you're talking about. What just happened to me when you went through and said lower back, middle back, and shoulders. I went, okay, so mine is in my shoulders. This I can physically feel it on a daily basis. I can feel my shoulders drop when I'm calm. So you said it's a lack of emotional support or an inability to express love. And so immediately I started to feel bad for myself.
Everybody listening.
Love to laugh you.
Oh, thank you. That helps so much. My shoulders just dropped a quarter of an inch. No, but I'm only mildly teasing because there is something about what you're saying in that I have to recognize, yes, this is where my tension is. And I can feel it when I'm relaxed, and I can feel it when I'm not relaxed. And that I'm in a reactive mode, so that I might snap at somebody who just said something that I could have not snapped at easily. But because I'm like this, I snap. And I lash out at them. And when I'm like this, I don't.
Do you ever do massages? Massage?
Do I?
A
You
massage?
asking me?
No, any of you. Because what
No,
you're
I
talking
do
about, all
I'm
the
a massage therapist.
I'm
What?
sure,
I got certified in massage therapy.
right? Massage therapy.
Interesting.
I'm going to Australia before I'm going to India.
So there's pressure points that you can do, just like acupuncture. There's acupressure, right?
Yes.
And I guess somebody who has gone through a lot of trying to find relief. I've tried everything, but I find it interesting that if you get the right person, you can sit there and have one person go up your spine and maybe they find something. But some people, and I don't know if it's their fingers or what, but I have a doctor who can do this. I mean, she can find the spot and you want to jump right out of your seat. But that's what you want to find. You want to find the tension spot that is causing you to leap, right? So if you could get somebody to just every day kind of go in and they pressure in, right? You take a deep breath and then they push in farther. But some people, they can do it without you having to breathe in and breathe out. And they can find your pressure spots just by moving. And it's not just up and down your spine. It could be outside of the spine, in the rib areas, up under the arm wings. But have somebody go and look for, they're called bands, right? And when you get tense, your body's like doing this, your whole body's doing that. Those bands get tight, and that's what happens. And then you they're stretching joints, they're stretching what do you call it in your spine, the discs, right? Because they're tight now, like a rubber band. But get somebody to help find them and massage them loose, right? So that they're not.
Reiki therapy.
Reiki therapy is good. What we talk about here, when you learn to breathe in and breathe out and release, right? and feel the tension leave you. But we've got Dr. Sagu coming in, and I always hate the time when we got to shift gears, but this is also fun time, right? Because we're going to change the topic a little bit. But Coach Kumar, what is a prayer for the day, and how can we relieve ourselves of these tensions? I think that's what we've been talking about today, is the tensions.
Yeah. So first of all, you gave me this beautiful idea of using massages. If you can just do it. And if you can get the massages, you can do it. And of course, you cannot do it on your own back, but you can just push, like just say good affirmations and just keep pressing your hands, your legs, your upper arms, your forearms. So what happens that, as you said, that our muscles and tissues, they are scientifically like biologically they are connected, but also we have the energy meridians between them. So when you press them, it releases the energy. That will help you uplift your mood up and untighten your body. Like it will make it free and flexible. So that is one thing which we can practice this week. And the prayer which I would love to say today is that everyone finds the freedom what they're looking for. It could be a spiritual freedom. It could be freedom from any thought, limited beliefs, any illnesses. It's just that the freedom, whatever you are looking for, whosoever is listening to this, I wish and pray that you get it. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Independence Day, Coach Kumar and Ankit and Dr. Sagu. I mean, thank
you so much.
So much. I get goosebumps when I think, somebody's celebrating their Independence Day. Of course, we joked today that we're all celebrating independence from what? But thank you, Jim. But the thing is that somewhere each of us find independence, and to me, that personal independence is great, right? From a child, we're always seeking that independence, and then when we get older, we're strapped to our desk, and our independence is gone. So celebrating these days are fun. So, how are you doing, Dr. Sagu?
Yeah, thank you so much. So today we are celebrating our Independence Day, and there is a very nice quote that the biggest prison of the world is the fear, and the real independence is the freedom from the fear. So if you are free from the fear, I think that is only the real independence, and we should be really independent. We should not be dependent on anybody, and the fear factor should go. Then only we can enjoy the independence.
I so believe that.
That is beautiful. I would that kind of blends in with what we were talking about today. But yes, you're absolutely right, because that's what we've been talking about, is how we can be for ourselves free. Because sometimes on the outside of us, everything around us isn't free. But I like Ben's theory. Just take a walk in the woods, right?
Hug a tree.
Yeah.
Or Willie, hug a tree is free. So
or now listen to the tree with the new microphone that I told you about. Listen to the tree. I said earlier, Dr. Saga, that there's now a microphone that's been developed in the UK that you can listen to the tree drinking the water.
I'm going to have to do that. I don't know where you get one of those, but I'm going to go order it. And I'm going to not just listen to it. I'm going to see if I can record it, because that sounds beautiful. Have you ever listened to rainwater? I know this is changing the subject a little bit, but talking about peacefulness, but rainwater going through those, people design bamboo chimes or bamboo pipes, and the rainwater captures in them, and you can hear the rain. They make it so it spins through and drops and spins and drops. That sounds beautiful too. I like listening to those. But
well, I've got to ask, just because this has been so evident in my life, just being on a lake, is so calming for me. And so, I don't know if there doesn't seem to be any audible reason for me to be calm. So what is it that's making me calm just by being around a lake?
So,
I mean,
remember you, okay, sorry, Dr. Sabu, go ahead,
oh, it's
please.
okay. Please go ahead. So here I would like to say that the different things can work the different way for the different people. So be at the lake can be a calm, maybe meditation would be one option for the calming. Other
Yes.
de-stress activities, sometimes some people they feel that the working is also a calming or de-stressing for them. So anything can work anyway, but that there are so many things. They may be de-stressing also, calming also, cooling also, meditation, anything. As I was listening to Anandmai when I was on backstage, that by doing some exercises or some, putting pressures over the peripheral limbs or on the muscles, that is also a very good de-stressing activity. Actually, what happens when you are pressing there, you are putting pressure, and when you are the stretching your fingers, so the proprioceptions also and the pressure also, the both the stimulation, they actually stimulate our central nervous system, and from there a lot of hormones they are being released, the basically opioids also. So those opioids, they definitely help to relieve the pain. And suppose you have a pain on the back and you put pressure over here in the forearm, so you can
Yeah,
relieve your back pain also by
exactly.
pressing over
Yeah.
the forearm. So that is the principle, is only that while putting pressure on certain points, that will cause the release of opioids or other hormones from the brain. So that causes the relief from the pain also. So all these stretching or pressure or anything, everything is good, but you need to do some activity. So that is very important.
Well, you've made me understand how this can
Yeah.
affect
Yeah.
this.
Yes. Yes. So basically, any part, there are certain, some says acupressure people say there are certain points are also there. That is also a very good theory. And even otherwise also, while putting, I mean, the weight pressure also, that will relieve you from your stress also and from your back pain or some other things also.
But I so grateful for you having said that. But I'm still stuck in this idea that I don't hear the lake. So how is the lake making me calm?
Okay. So, how do you consider yourself, a visual person or an auditory person?
Visual.
Auditory.
You have your answer, Jim, because you're looking at the lake, you are surrounded by it. And if you want to go deeper, you remember I shared a link with you and we talked about star seeds. Go and read about Sirius, the star cluster Sirius. You will understand, and that's for Kim also because she said that she loves water. So spiritually, there are different connections. If you talk about the physiological things that you are a visual person, so you love to see at the lake, and that gives you that stimulation that secretes the good hormones, and it helps you calm down. Um, and
That
then
seems so still when you say it like that.
thank you so much for saying that. It's just that, as a coach, we are just trained to poke the right question. That's all.
Well, you got me. I'm a visual person, and seeing the lake makes me calm.
Also, your body type. You're very liner.
My
You have
body type.
yes. You're very slim all the way, and that's a visual. That's a visual predication.
Oh,
I did applied kinesiology where you test the muscles, and so I'm bringing that into the startup space because in the startup space you make decisions, and how do you know your decisions is a good or bad one? So you test just by rubbing your fingers,
yes,
and if they stuck, that means it's a bad decision.
yes.
So that's what I'm trying to bring into this startup space. Um, one of the things I've done also is go out with a group of 25 men, and it's called the Awakened Tribe, and we go into the like 200 miles into the bush, and we stay there for 4 days, and we do campfires, and some parts of it, like at 12 midnight, we do where we sit around the campfire, no clothes, just all men. And that it's a totally different energy that's there then, and you get transformed, because the things that you need to do is counterintuitive. That means instead of taking a left, you take a right turn, and a lot of the things. I went to the camp mainly because my wife and I were having a lot of arguments, and so it came to a boiling point, and she says, okay, either I do the camp or we go separate ways. So that's why I ended up at the camp.
But that seems very wise of you.
But after that, you feel this big release when you find yourself, because one of the tasks there was trust. So you climb onto a ladder and you fall backwards, and people will catch you.
Trust fall.
Yes, and that's big. And you keep climbing, and you've got a blindfold on, and you don't know who's there, so you just lean backwards.
I think Dr. Sagu kind of brought some things out there is that when you don't live in fear, you have this great freedom. And this is kind of what we were talking about today. But when you take action to know and understand something, you reduce the fear, right? When you find those facts. And when you eat healthier, factually you're doing something good for your body, right? So you should have less fear. Just like when we go and sometimes when you do something and you're not quite sure what the outcome is going to be, that's kind of like this the whole time. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but so you're stressed out all the time, and that's not good freedom. It's not healthy. So the best thing to do is kind of put yourself into situations. And this is a talk Ankit has with me actually, is how can you remove this from your situation so that you feel freer to do other things. And I think learning how to prioritize, but also just take the right actions, whether it's cut something out, pay somebody off, get that mortgage off your back, listen to your wife, listen to your husband, listen to your significant other.
Listen to your bosses.
Right. But, Dr. Sagu, there's so many other things too, when we talk about the spiritual being in our body, sometimes we're eating, you probably see this, you're not happy and you eat too much, right? So we're filling up a gap the wrong way. And then we get, 10, 15 pounds overweight. Just like, I talk to a lot of people because of COVID, they're putting on weight. They're not, and this is one thing we don't want to do with COVID, right? We want to build our immunities, and putting on weight becomes that obesity problem that we have. So what are some things we can do to reduce the fear and get back to where we need to go? Maybe some daily practices like we're doing with the prayer, writing in our diary, our book. But what are some other things, little things, just to start out with?
If we talk about once we are positive, what we need to change our attitude only, just to win over the fear factor. So once you have attitude to win over the fear factor, it means your attitude is positive. So you are positive. Once you are positive, the things happens automatically in favor of you, and definitely the outcome is going to be in favor of you. So you will get a favorable outcome once you have a positive attitude and you do the things with 100% of your efforts. So this is one that you have to be very positive. Then your effort has to be 100%. Then yes, if you want to be free from the fear, then there maybe you may need diversion of your brain, divert your brain. So do something extraordinary or do something very general which you like. So that is the way. So we have seen the recent example of COVID. Once in the initial period of the time, there was a fear factor. The strong fear factor was there, and the patient's recovery was not that much. But now, once the people have shown the positive attitude and they are you fighting out of the fear factor positively with the positive attitude. So now the recovery is very good, and now we are fighting against the COVID, and we are winning also. So this is very important to win over the fear factor. And once the fear factor is out, definitely your positive attitude will bring your favorable outcome.
You know, this works for me, and I'm not sure it'll work for anyone else. But I think that fear and shame are one of the lower vibrations, and I want to vibrate at a higher frequency. And so I tell myself that if I'm feeling afraid or if I'm feeling ashamed of myself, that is a low vibration, and I want to vibrate at a higher frequency. And just by coaching myself, takes a very short while, I feel better. I do not feel fear, and I do not feel ashamed. And so this makes me act and behave in a better way than if I'm making better decisions if I'm not afraid, if I'm not weighed down by shame. So I just think it makes me operate at a higher level if I'm not weighed down by fear or shame. Those are low vibrations.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Yes, definitely. Any kind of activity which divert your mind and which concentrate your mind definitely is going to help you. And another thing is you have to be aware of. I mean, even if you are aware of your breathing, that will also help. If you are
Yes.
aware of the surroundings, that will also definitely is going to help you. If you are aware of your relationship also, that will also help you. And awareness regarding anything, maybe there is a one point you focus your brain on that point, that will definitely also increase uh, your awareness, increase your positivity, that will increase your positive attitude. So all those things definitely they're going to help you out when you are going for the favorable outcomes.
Dr. Saku, a lot of our viewers would like to know how are you feeling post plasmind? I think it's been like 2 weeks now. And what are your conscious and your perception about the current situation?
I think, I mean, whatever the deed you do for the social cause, definitely this will give you good perception. And
Welcome to live TV.
Oh no, I know. What a shame.
I know. He's on a roll.
What we need to do is we need to eventually, when we get the funding, everybody's going to have better bandwidth. I'm going to start seeing if I can negotiate with carriers for our TV network. But
oh, you're the best bet at that.
well, it's been a long time, but I'm going to give it a shot here as soon as I can get some bandwidth.
Jeff is doing something cool here.
Oh my gosh, Jeff, what have you got going on?
There's a lot of love.
Freaking me out here. So I didn't know if you had fire going on back there.
He's got spirituality coming out of his hair.
Oh, hearts. It's hearts.
Here, I'll ring the gong.
All right.
Oh, and hearts.
That's the Wuhan gong. It's from Wuhan. Every time I ring that gong, the virus goes back where it came from.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because look, it's from Wuhan.
Well, keep ringing it, man.
Oh man, no, you'll never be able to get the show. Anybody to hear it?
That's you. Go backstage and ring it then.
Though, this is what we need too, right? We need a good sense of humor, laughter, and discipline. But, trying to get all of this so that we're not putting ourselves back into danger, right? But building ourselves up. Again, I've got, everyone I talk to, everyone says, oh, I'm putting on a little weight right now. And I think we've become a little stagnant. So getting out there, getting some exercise, eating healthy. I try to eat healthy, but it doesn't seem to be working. But finding that sustainability benchmark in your life would help. So what else do you have for us, Dr. Segura? You kind of bounced out on us.
So as we discussed about the healthy dieting also and healthy eating also, the way of eating, the constants what we should be eating, and all the supplements that we need to take, all the vitamins, that is the B12, B1 or B6, vitamin C, vitamin E, and the calcium. All these things, they are going to help you. Plus, taking a lot of liquids, that will also going to help you to increase your immunity. So whatever the way we are going to boost up our immunity, that is going to help in all type of crisis. I'm not talking about the only COVID, any type of crisis, any type of emergency. If you have a good immunity, then you can cross that emergency very nicely. If you have a good immunity, if you don't have a good immunity, then definitely there may be a lot of obstacles, and it would be very difficult for you to cross that obstacles. Exercise, yeah, please.
The problem is, though, Dr. Saga, is that when you are going, and a lot of people in a poor state of fitness, and a lot of people mistake the original aches and pains, which you've got to go through to get to the fitness. They mistake that as their body telling them to give up, don't they?
I did.
Whereas, but that's perhaps exertion they're doing, putting on themselves that they shouldn't be doing. Whereas, if you understand what you need and what your body wants, then perhaps you should respect that. So, like, I know I can't. I've had 12 knee operations, as we've been discussing on the chat. I've had 12 knee operations, so I can't do running because I've had stem cell treatment. So basically, that would wipe out my treatments. But I can walk, and I don't do 10,000 steps a day. I try and do 12, 13, 14, 15,000 steps a day because walking is comfortable. And it's knowing what your body can take and knowing what the pain barriers are and knowing what the pain is telling you. Because a lot of people, as soon as they get pain, they say, right, that's it, I'm packing it in. And that's just, they're perhaps weak. I don't want to say weak-minded because that sounds wrong, but if I say weak-minded, you know what I mean? And they use it as an excuse, aren't they? That's to the coach and the doctor. Is the doctor here? No,
yes. So Ben, I completely get what you're saying, and my coach has put this very beautifully, that we need to work on our daily goals, staying connected with our bodies. So, for example, if I want to climb Mount Everest, I cannot go tomorrow and take a flight to Nepal and then just climb the Mount Everest. I will have to prepare myself for about a year or so, every day, little and little, adding up to a position where I can at least survive that environment and then climb it. So and staying connected with it. And sometimes, okay, it's fine. I want to do it, but my body will not allow to do it. So either I train for it little by little every day, or I know my body completely and respect it that, okay, this cannot take a high altitude. I should not go there because my nose will start bleeding or something else will happen to me. So it's like staying connected and being open to both the things. It's not that you have to take a rigid decision that I have to climb the Mount Everest no matter what happens, I will go there. That's a different set of people. Then you have to train rigorously with the experts, and you have to be in touch with your medical consultants all the time. That like everything, every bit of the things which you're taking in should be in the correct portion so that it's supporting your body for your bigger goals.
I mean, I do my steps over 3 or 4 times a day. mainly because I don't want the dogs going to the toilet in the garden, because I like to look after my garden. But you know, if you use positive things like that, then great, isn't it? Sorry, Doctor, over to you, good self. No, Doctor.
Dr. Sagu, are you there?
Yeah. Well. So as Anandmai was answering to the questions, that is, I mean, she answered very well. So actually, the important is the training and the patience. The two things are very important. Whatever you are doing, if we are doing the physical activity, exercise, so training and the exercise, and the patience is very important. So basically, there are three components of any type of physical activity or exercise. One is there is the intensity, then there's the frequency and the duration. So that has to be, increased very, very slowly, and one has to know his or her capacity. So if we are working according to our capacity, I think we can do better. But if we are going beyond our capacity, then we are going to injure ourselves. And during the injury, you would be out of any physical activities, and that would be dangerous for your life. That would be dangerous for your body. So it is required that you should start it very slowly. You should be very target oriented. That is good, but your target has to be increased slowly and slowly, gradually you go up, but increase your intensity, increase your frequency, and increase your duration as well.
And Jim, I think you wanted to come in there, didn't you?
No, I was fascinated listening, and I've had my mind going in several different directions. So, but I will say this, that I think that anything that you do that gets you centered is productive. And I think that people, I'm going to use a word that I'm not that comfortable with, but if you have a hole in your soul, people can try to fill it with food, with alcohol, with drugs, all sorts of things, and they're never satisfied because they're never addressing the root problem. And I think that this leads to obesity, this leads to drug addiction, this leads to a lot of problems in our lives because we're not attempting to fix what's really what we're suffering from, the root cause of our suffering.
Rightly said. So we should not be ameliorating our pains and tiredness by the use of the drugs. Actually, you should be working according to your capacity.
Jeff, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think I just offended
I agree that the same food or the same medicine works different on every individual person. And I agree that we need to progressively learn ourselves, who we are, what works for us best. If vitamin D does not work, or B, you have to use them intelligently. So I think that the conversation is about being logical in life. I don't know if everybody knows who Forrest Gump is, but it was a movie about an idiot savant that taught everybody to be who they are and never give up. Okay, but to learn their lessons and to learn it well, but also to share what we've learned. If we, as humans, are medicine, we ourselves are medicine, then we learn something that works for us. If CBD works for you, if drinking more water works for you, if having drinking coffee is good for you, but you find a good coffee that makes you feel better, that doesn't make you crash, then we need to share that. So I appreciate conversations like this. I've been a raw vegan. I haven't cooked my food in 17 years. And I'm 80-20, so some of my food is cooked and some of it isn't. But it doesn't work for all of my people. And some of my people who've been raw for 20 years have gone off of being raw because it was too much for their belly. And I think there's emotional food also that is for your belly. If your belly is working right and it has good flora, good probiotics, good energy, and things that you've learned, it's logic. When you get to a certain age, you know too much sugar feeds the cancer. you know, so why go the sugar? Oh, well, on the weekends I can go off my diet. That's true. But fasting one day at work works for me. And I also, while I'm doing my work and fasting one day a week on liquid only, I feel I'm resetting my body and feeling good for it. And so I agree with everybody that individually, what works for me may not work for you. So what I do is I teach, I don't preach.
Yeah, rightly said, Jeff. So, as you were saying that one thing works for one and not for the others, that depends on your metabolism. So, there is a metabolic set point. So, if we are eating according to our metabolism, I don't think there would be any problem because every individual has a different metabolism. So somebody, they are taking a lot of calories, but they are not getting obese. Some people, they are getting only 500 calories and they're getting obese because their metabolism is not good. Metabolism is very slow. So what we need to do is we need to work on our metabolism. So if the metabolism is slow, instead of taking calories, we need to take the stuff which can increase your metabolism, can boost your metabolism. If your metabolism is on the higher side, then you can have all type of food, and then you can have a healthy diet also. Then you can have a good health also.
And what about the karma of food? The happiness of food, how it's made with love versus an angry kitchen.
Yes,
An angry kitchen.
yes, yeah. So always the happy kitchen is always good as compared to the angry kitchen. So whatever the thoughts you have while cooking your food, that also has an impact on your health, on the health, the people eating all those food. So always, so in India, what we say that if while cooking or while preparing your food, if you're praying or if you're reciting some Shabad, Gurbani or Bhajan, that we Indian style, so definitely that food, if we are serving to some other people, that will definitely increase the causes of good health to the people who they are eating.
There was a book written in Russia many years ago. My former partner, she read it to me, that it was called the Book of Anastasia, and
Book
it
of
was a
Mhm.
series. It was a series of books, but the grandmother would put the seed of the plants for their garden. She would put them in their mouth and get the DNA on the seed for their garden, for their food that they were going to eat for their family. And then they would take that seed out of their mouth and put it in the garden and grow that seed with their own DNA on that seed. Woo!
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that
mine
is a
kept
good
kept
practice.
coming
Yeah.
up weeds.
It was very, and so we did that. We planted our cabbage, we planted our broccoli, and we put the seeds in our mouth, and then we put them in our garden just one time, you know. And I tried it once this year, you know. I did some, but it's really individual how we get through life, and we want to do our bucket list. And if we want to climb Mount Everest, I love that analogy that we have to be smart, intelligent, and logical about getting up the freaking mountain. You know, there's rules in life, but they're different for everybody. You have to know yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So that is how we pass on our thoughts from one person to another person through the food. That is also very important.
What about yoga?
Yeah, I mean, every type of physical activity or anything which can concentrate your brain on one focus, that is always helpful. So we always practice yoga. The yoga is very good. Number one, the yoga causes physical activity that will stretch your muscles, and that causes the release of some hormones from the brain, some adrenaline also, noradrenaline also, other type of hormones also, that will stabilize your mental health also. So number two, it will lead to good mental health. Number three, by doing yoga practice, your diet automatically becomes good. Your diet automatically becomes punctual. So you start taking meals at the right time. Number four, by practice, by practicing yoga, your sleeps become very good. Number five, your stress goes away by doing the yoga practice. So the yoga practice is also good in a lot of things can happen into your body, and you can have a healthy body with a healthy mind.
Well,
I have
Dr.
one other question. What
Okay.
is the people tell me that the pineal gland gets calcified by bad food?
By yoga.
No,
No,
by
by bad
bad
Pineal,
food.
food.
By bad food. The pineal gland. The pineal
yes,
isn't the
yeah, pineal
pineal.
glands, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The essential gland.
yeah.
Well,
And
he's
so
saying that bad food calcifies it.
So actually, the pineal glands does not have much function in our body. So it becomes vestigial organ later on. And I don't think, I mean, I have to study about the pineal glands calcification also. I don't think calcification of the pineal glands can cause any sort of ill health to the body.
I was told the pineal gland is the connection to spirituality.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I've been taught
maybe,
that too.
yeah.
You
I
open
need to
that
study
up,
the
and then your
spirituality.
third eye opens up. Does your culture wear bindi?
Sorry?
Why does your culture wear bindi?
Bindi. Okay. Oh, I'm having one
Bindi,
today.
Bindi.
Yeah.
Yeah, bindi. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Tell us a story.
Okay, so
Actually, there are seven chakras in our body, and this is the sixth chakra, and this sixth chakra is the chakra to stabilize your mind in your body. So basically, the Shiva was the god who could see through the third eye also, but that is an imaginary eye. You cannot see the eye; it's not a physical eye. So basically, this eye can see outward also and inward also.
Sixth
So more
sense.
focus is there. Yeah, more focus is there that by using third eye, that is the sixth chakra of the body, you can see inside. You can see your soul. You can feed your soul. Yeah, and the principle of bindi is when you put a bindi here, you're putting pressure here, and you're concentrating everything because the women they are concentrating only on their bindi. So when there is a something which you can concentrate on, so your focus is on this chakra, and while putting the whole concentration on this chakra, you can keep your soul, you can calm your soul, you can calm inside, you can see inside also. Yeah.
Does,
Otherwise, I mean.
Doctor, can I just ask, does it have any mental health benefits as well?
Yeah.
You know,
These chakra they have a mental health benefits also. All when you are calm, when you can see inside, when your soul is good, when you can concentrate inside, definitely your mental health is going to be very good.
I make I make a glass jar that you drink out of with the glass straw, and we put the flower of life on every jar, and people tell me it's like a bindi that the flower of life on my jars bring good energy to the liquid that you drink.
yeah. So Jeff, the science behind or the reason behind why we put the bindi earlier,
Yeah,
it was we used to keep chandan or kumkum. So for male, it was chandan, which is sandalwood, and kumkum. I think we call it vermilion. So it has mercury and the sandalwood both are cold in nature. So when you put it on your third eye, it keeps your third eye cool because as Dr. Shagu was saying, the imaginary third eye of Shiva was the source of creation and destruction. So when it goes out of control, then it starts destructing. So that's why we put our bindi one to concentrate on one point of which is the third eye chakra between your eyebrows. And
yeah,
earlier we and this is a very fancy stuff that you just have to pull out it from off a paper and just traditionally, we do it with sandalwood or vermilion, which has the other significance to keep your head down. Because just imagine the woman of the house getting a hot head. What's gonna be served on your plate? So that's why we used to put that vermilion or chandan, so that it keeps the third eye cool, and then it has other spiritual benefits as well.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
That's very well said.
It is. It is. I love it. I love listening to things because I think we can only help each other. And as I said, I mean, just going back to my my knee operation, not the actual operations, but they said, do you want to? It's a trial. The one side is the normal Western way, and the other side is the Eastern solution. And because I've read up on the Eastern medicine world and I believe in it, I was like, yeah, just do it. And I don't know what I've had yet, because obviously you can't find out for a certain period, but I hope I've had the Eastern treatment, just because I believe in the medicines and some of their ways of living. So, yeah, Coach, really fascinating that is. I just think it's fascinating to hear the mental health benefits as well, because that's massive at the moment in the world. And I think that to look, it's something really small, but it's something of great importance to you that's going to help your mental health, and I think that's massive. I think really interesting that is. So thank you for the explanations.
Yeah, I think we learn ourselves. We learn how we work it by learning, by experimenting. People that do dark drugs are addicted. They say marijuana is not addicting because there's no withdrawal. And so it's only psychologically addicting. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. But some drugs, like opiates, are addicting because you get withdrawals, and they're very quickly to addict, and they're very bad for us. So why are people going back to alcohol? Why are people hurting themselves? Why are they closing their immune system down unless they have had trauma in their life and they haven't dealt with their PTSD?
Habits, Jeff. Habits.
Yeah.
Habits rather than addictions. You have to be careful, because you can get addicted, but also it can become a habit, because it's like a point of your life when things were when you were going through adversity, something that made you feel good, and then that becomes the habit. So I think we have to be very careful, don't we, Doctor?
Yeah. For initially it is a psychological dependency on the drug, and slowly when it becomes habits, and then it becomes the pathological dependency on the drugs. So when there is a pathological dependency on the drugs, whenever you are going to leave that drug, you will definitely have a withdrawal symptoms, and because of the withdrawals, you again tend to have the same drugs. So initially psychological, later on it's a pathological.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
I've been studying a lot about microdosing from the mushroom world, and the mycelium have a lot of properties, not only the psychedelic mushrooms, but the mycelium that the reishi, and the chaga and the lion's mane. I was told if the mushroom looks like your brain, it works for your brain. It helps with the fog. The mushroom world, the mycelium world in the forest, is so beautiful. They can talk to each other from one side of the forest to the other, and I think humans used to be able to do that.
We're complicated. We're really complicated yet so simple when you think about it. Because we can make ourselves out to be this complicated system that you must do this, you must do that. And the human body is absolutely immense what it does every day. And for those that have studied it, obviously got people on here that studied it. But yeah, we can make it so simple by what you put in is what you get out. So if you put positive information into your brain, it comes out into your actions. If you eat well, it comes out into your physical elements. And so it's quite simple, really. What we put in is what's going to come out.
So listen to the Good News channel, the Good News Network.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the bad news.
Yeah. It is the telly can dictate. If you listen to the news isn't paid to be positive. It's always going to be negative. If you listen to the news all day, you can live in a negative world. If you'd like to say you're the Good News channel, or I'm a big sports person, so I take a lot of inspiration from sports people. One of my favorite personalities is Usain Bolt, because he's so open about how he achieves and his background, etc., and it's inspirational. but if you have Sky News or your own news channels on all day, then you're just going to believe that everything's going to happen to you.
So, Ben, do you get positivity by living in the United Kingdom? Because according to Nick, that doesn't create a lot of positivity.
I get positivity from from my children. Inspire me, Lynn. If I'm honest with you, I try not to tell them no. Obviously, you have to at times to be a parent, but I never ever tell them. My daughter wants to be a mermaid. I tell her she can be. And there's ways of doing it. Obviously not, but you can get the mermaid tails from them, etc. She wants to buy a farmhouse, and I explain to her how we can do it. I never ever say you can't do it. If they come and tell me they want to be prime minister, too many people will say you don't. I mean, how many times do you hear after school? Oh, you'll never achieve anything. Well, of course they're not going. If you're telling them that's what they're not going to achieve, they're not going to achieve it. So I never ever tell them they can't do what they're suggesting they want to do. It's always about encouraging and saying you can. It's hard to get there. Don't underestimate it, but you can achieve it with hard work.
That's great. So I've always lived by the principle that if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you think you can't. You're absolutely right.
Isn't that Gandhi?
I'm sorry?
Isn't that Gandhi?
No. Yeah, it was
Henry Ford, I thought, way back.
Napoleon Hill.
Be the change you want to see.
Well, Napoleon Hill said it, but he said it after he interviewed all the people that he interviewed for Think and Grow Rich. So I'm thinking that if you go back through the book, if I recall correctly, it basically was Henry Ford who said that. I mean, I paraphrased it, but I think it starts: if you think you can, and if you think you can't, you can't. I just had a friend who always said, if you think you can't, you're right. So anyway, do we have time to talk about the dollar store here quickly?
Oh, we always have time. We always have time for you.
Here's the issue, Ben. Jim usually is my straight man, and Jim isn't here. So here's what's going to happen, Ben. You're going to be my straight man today. So today we're going to talk about the dollar store. We own an online dollar store which is called family.dollarstore.com. We're a big supporter of Money Masters PBS, which is the owner of IBM TV. We love the mission, which is to narrow the gap between poverty and financial sustainability by providing financial education and financial fitness. And we have Kimberly, who knows all about all the 5 facts that you need to know about financial fitness. But the first thing is we have lots of products. We have over 4,300 products. We have some new ones, but most importantly, because of what we're going through right now, we have masks. And the interesting thing is we have boxes of masks that are 50 of them in a box, and they cost $25. But now Ben is going to figure it out for us because we also have gift tokens. And everybody who signs up to become a customer gets $5 worth of gift tokens. So that if you actually, Dr. Segur remembers, it's $5, right? You've heard this before. So
5 and 5.
5 and 5.
5 over 5.
Right? Well, the second 5 comes if you sign up between now and the end of August, because we're going to give you an extra 5. Okay. Yeah. And we are giving through the end of September all of our money to Money Masters PBS, all of our profits. But Ben, if you use the $5 to reduce the cost of your purchase, and it's delivered for free to you, by the way, because it's an order of $25, and any order of $25 or more is delivered to you for free. Ben, how much is it going to cost?
Well, if you just use your single $5, it's 0.4. If you use your extra 5, we're on a winner. We're on a winner.
You are a winner. There you go.
We're on a winner.
0.3. So we have lots of products, and I know Kimberly, I'll get there in a minute. But one of the important ones that you need is the extreme patch, the lidocaine. we only can deliver in the United States for the moment because it's just too expensive to deliver outside of the United States. But Ben, we're going to send you some of these because you need to wear these because of the pain from when Nick starts talking about the United Kingdom. And we don't want you to have any more pain than normal. But if you know Jim, he wears these because he's a big chess player and he's a great chess player. But for some reason, he has an issue when he plays with Sasha, and he knows it's going to happen ahead of time. So he puts his on to be able to reduce the pain. Because as Kimberly says, if you're going to have pain and you know it, use the patch first before you have the pain. And also, of course, you put it on your arm just because moving those chess pieces is so hard. But with 4,300 items, the most important item that you can get is the Minion Napkin, because then you can join the Minion Napkin Club. Kimberly, Jim, Mark, Lee, and I are all members of the Minion Napkin Club, and everybody ought to have Minion napkins. I mean, what can be better than that? So look, we're almost out of time, and I'm not going to monopolize the time. Just
Don't worry about it.
Support Money Masters PBS. Well, this is important because Coach is here and Dr. Gu is here, and we need to hear them rather than hear me. The only thing I'll ask is, please support Money Masters PBS. And by the way, you're going to save money. So what can be better than that? Because when you save money and you spend it properly, you're going to end up with money that you actually save and can invest. And when you invest it, you're going to make sure that you have enough to pay taxes, and then you're going to pay forward. But here's a way to save and pay forward at the same time by supporting Money Masters PBS. With that, I'm gonna defer to Ben because
I know you want to defer it to Ben, but I want to add something here that you might have missed our show earlier this morning, but we were talking about a different kind of financial stress, and it's the physical stress on the body. And Coach Kumar explained to us that when you're feeling that lower back pain, that's an indication of financial stress.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious! Then I need to put these on my my lower back just in case. Yeah, because remember, we have to ward off the pain in advance.
That's what I always say. Well, the doctors told me that. The doctors taught me if you get ahead of the pain and stay ahead of the pain, don't get addicted to the drugs, but stay ahead of the pain, get yourself rested, and get back up again. But sometimes if you stay behind the pain, so if you're like taking the medications or using the patches and you're only doing it as you hurt, then you're never going to get better. And you're always going to be, tension. So the doctors always told me to stay a little ahead of the pain until I know I'm better. And then, but I mean, that's for chronic pains, right? So, but it's interesting to hear everyone has different pains. And I'm sure Dr. Sagu, he hears about every one of them every time he goes to work, right? I like how he tells me, to keep it cool. But
Jim is back, so we need to bash on Jim a little bit because he suffers severe pain. First of all, he lives in the Socialist Republic of Northern California, okay, and so Nick bashes on Jim just like he bashes on Ben about living in the UK. So they have severe pain anyway. But here's one thing. I see that Ben is learning how to play chess. So did you get Chess for Dummies, Ben? Because you need to get that.
I've been challenged by Ankit to a game of chess. Chess has never been my game. But just so Chess for Dummies might come in good. But just as Jim's come back, Jim, Lynch sacked you as a straight man. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, no.
So
You'll have to watch the show again to see why. I was brilliant.
I hope they don't dock my pay.
What I want to ask, though, because I know Ben's going to have to take his leave here in a minute as well, is Ben, you mentioned we talk backstage sometimes about family night. And I am just curious because the most precious moments in my life was family night when I was a little girl. What do you do for family night?
Well, I'm going to go and cook in a moment. I'm going to go and cook tea, and then we'll all have tea together. And then, to be honest, Saturday night, the telly in Britain is usually quite good. It's quite entertaining. So we'll watch telly. The kids will have some treats for themselves. So perhaps cookies or sweets and things.
Do you watch Faulty Towers?
I do, Jeff, but it's not on tonight, sadly. But yeah, Faulty Towers is one of my favourites, and I've got the kids into Only Fools and Horses, which is really good at the age of 8, because it's quite an old show. But yeah, Saturday nights are quite important because we work really hard during the week, and Saturday nights and Sunday we're quite traditional. We like the old Sunday roast. So tomorrow lunchtime I always do a Sunday roast. I like cooking myself. With fresh stuff. So yes, the Saturday nights are quite important to us as a family, because it allows us to have freedom in the week to work hard. So time slots for everything.
And again, I'll tell you, that was something I can look back on, was that they weren't expensive days, right? They were very simple, like a TV show, or mom always cooking Jell-O on Saturday night, and dad dancing with us with Lawrence Welk, and Hee Haw was a big thing. So I get it. Sunday nights was a blast for us because of Disney. So these are important to bring in some values, right? Set those values. So
yeah, they are. Yeah, because it's got its place. Go on, Ankit.
I got a message from Jim that it's a different context to what we are discussing. But Jim messaged me that before he goes to Sasha's show, he needs to read a book which is called Chess for Dummies.
And I'm on page 240.
So, with the group of people I grew up with, like maybe out on the ranch or something, to make it interesting, to be a shot of tequila for every time you had a person taken away, right?
Don't go there, kids. Don't try that at home. She is.
Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, it'd be something goofy like that. Take a shot of Kool-Aid. Take a, but we would do something really goofy like that when we played games back in I'm talking about, God, I'm going 30 years back. Yeah. So just, but
when you were a teenager.
But have you guys converted Ben? Is Ben a chessy now?
No.
I don't know.
But he's a chessy as much as I'm a cricket guy.
Nick is on. Ooh, guys, the big guys come.
Then I'm going to get backstage.
By the way, Jim,
Batman, Nick is on.
I'm having
the book.
I'm having trouble getting through the introduction. I mean,
well, I hope you read about the author. About the author is my favorite part.
Oh, okay.
Right. And Tish has been beaming in on us, giving us some great advice, and occasionally I try to pop up her comments. But Tish is planting a good seed that comes on real soon today, maybe now, and she's been giving us some good feedback, which has been fun to watch. So thank you, Tish, for being such a good sport and helping us out here on this talk, because the spiritual, the filling us up with this good spiritual feeling is what's going to get us through this COVID. Fried milk. Everybody's talking about fried milk. We had a lesson on fried milk this week from China. Yes. And at first, when you talk about fried milk,
really fried milk.
Well, so there's also, I was thinking that maybe somebody took evaporated milk, right? But the fried milk, the way they make it in China, is to me kind of like a tres leches cake, right? But it's fried. So there's a master art to the way they fry their milk, but I guess the base of it is milk. But tres leches cake is very good, very sweet. It's got several milks mixed in it. But yeah, fried milk, was that a story or what? We're having a good time backstage talking about fried milk. I would.
I was just suggesting Ben to cook some fried milk for kids, basically, on the movie night.
For his kids.
I'm just figuring out how to fry it. I mean, I'm YouTube guide. I think.
Don't go there, Ben.
Don't go there. Don't go there. don't think logic. Do not think logic.
Hey, you know, I love Spiritual Saturday, but you know, if I'm going to come on and get upstage in shirts, I don't know if I'm coming back. Man, I used to be the shirt guy. Now Jeff's all over me.
Yeah, so you're being challenged, Jim.
No, I can't compete with that.
You know, but let's talk about, fried milk. Boy, I thought it was going to be like pouring milk into the grease, and it was a complete. Or, I would almost think, make some sort of capsule with milk in it and then deep fry it, right? But no, it was a masterpiece of flour and eggs and everything. But
no eggs, flours, baking soda, sugar, some salt, and then yeast. And then your craft and your creativity and your skills basically.
You let it rise, and then you cut it into squares after you
freeze it for 6 hours first, though.
Yeah, you set it in the refrigerator or freezer. Wrap it in wax paper or parchment paper. So it's a masterpiece. It's a complete masterpiece. So again, when I thought milk, I thought, oh, pouring milk into the oil. But
have you tried cloud eggs? Anyone tried cloud eggs or?
No.
No? No one?
No.
Wow.
What is it?
So take a boiling water, boil it a little bit, and then pour the egg in that, and then just serve it like that. So what happens is that the yellow part will remain the same, and the white part will become clouds, and then you can serve it like this one.
Interesting.
Did you call it cloud eggs?
Can you?
I mean, there are multiple names basically, but it's just a recipe, and people have like cloud is a big hype keyword now, so that's why cloud eggs. Jim told us that there is an eye mask coming up from Silicon Valley, so it's all the name game.
So can you show us a like online recipe on how to make it? It sounds very easy, but
it's very easy.
So
find out for
some of the goofball things we do, like we would get we always do everything like a can of soup and a can of biscuits here in the South, right? There's a book called let's see if I can get this right. It's not. Oh, yeah, here it is. Being Dead is No Excuse. And it's a Southern book of recipes. And I bought it after my dad died. In fact, I saw it right after my dad died, and it made me laugh. But being dead is no excuse. But in there, it talks about in the Southern South, it's a shame if you don't have a can of Campbell's cream of mushroom soup and cream of chicken soup and cream of celery soup ready for the next funeral, right? Because everything we make here is that. But one of the things that they do a lot here is they use canned biscuits, and they'll like cut them up and drop them into grease and fry them up like donuts, right? So they'll, or we make them into dumplings. We drop them into boiling water and make them into these big puffy dumplings. So it's a lot of fat food here in the South.
I like cooked food, but I haven't cooked my food in 17 years.
Yeah, you're a true healthy eater. There we go. Egg in a cloud.
Oh,
Nice.
interesting.
Cloud egg.
Huh.
So there are different ways to cook it actually. This is the baking style.
My parents used to make creamed eggs on toast.
I think even I can do this. If you're making it this simple.
So he's doing with a baking style. There are multiple styles to do it.
Oh,
Like meringue.
the meringue.
So far, I think I can do it.
I like the music.
Interesting.
I like it.
Wow. That's different. Have you tried it?
I did try it, yeah.
Ben just left, so Ben's going to go make tea with his family. I just, what if, it's been a long time since I've had kids. Those family things are always fun. So, Ankit, what did you do, especially on a holiday like today? What did you do?
Today I was just busy with some work, and that's about it. Nothing in common.
Nothing. Okay. So, Lynn, what did you do on Family Day?
What do we do on Family Day?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. My kids and my grandkids are so old I can't remember. What do we do on Family Day? We didn't actually have a Family Day.
Okay.
Right now we do a family Zoom every Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our daughter and daughter-in-law are in Toronto. Our grandson is here in just about 10 minutes away, although he's going to go up to Toronto tomorrow and find out whether he can get in. And if he can, I'm going to get a hold of Sasha and see if the two of them can meet. Because my grandson's into investing and I want him to meet Sasha. Okay. And then our son, daughter-in-law, and 3 other grandsons are down in North Carolina, not far from you, Kimberly. And so we do a Sunday Zoom. We get 2 of the girlfriends on with them. The oldest 2 have girlfriends that are long-standing girlfriends, so we get them on. Sometimes we get cousins. It's just that's what we do. We never did it. Look, my daughter will be 50 this year, and she's my youngest. So I'm not sure I can remember that far back.
Sometimes there's just that little moment in history, right? That you go, wow, I remember doing that. And, but I think there's just doing simple things like that. Again, it doesn't have to, this is what I tell people, it doesn't have to be elaborate. It could be color time. It could be story time. My dad was a big storyteller, right? He loved to tell stories. And it's, something that I think we all need to learn how to do to bond and get close. And again, it doesn't even have to be with your kids, like little kids, right? It could be like you were talking about, the Zoom family gets together. I haven't done that. Maybe I should do that with the family. I try to reach out to them individually. But that's a good idea.
But Kim, my wife does that every day because she lost her dad a few months back at the beginning of COVID. And so her mom is by herself. So the kids get together on Zoom and chat with her every day. And it's an amazing phenomena to watch and to observe how they stay connected this way. Even though they're apart, they live in different cities, they still stay connected and talk to each other every day.
Wow. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I don't know that we haven't a lot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, my family has one too, but they don't invite me to it.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Do they live in San Francisco?
I moved 3,000 miles away, and apparently
that's why. There you go. I was the one who moved away too. Yes. So, but these are things, that helps you stay connected, right? To unite. Right. And that's what we want. We need this peace. We need the love. We need the joy. Like I keep hearing people say I'm hug deprived right now. And I think it's just touch deprived, right? We're going to manifest our destinies. We're going to get through this.
I believe that too.
All too often humans are tested, and this is a huge test. And we'll get past it. whether it's a vaccine or we learn how to live among it. It's it does destroy the body really bad. That was my biggest fear when it first came out. I started researching what does it do to the human body. Some people, even though they have a good immune system, it still gets in there and it tears things up because it's that stupid porcupine ball, but there are things that we could do to help other people get through this time. My concern is something that Dr. Sagu and Tula were concerned about, were the elderly people and just the lonely people who don't know how to get past these things. Yeah. They don't know how to reach out. So, but that's what Spiritual Saturday is all about. What is Tish's show already started, or Zach's?
So Zach's show is live right now, Funk from the Front Seat, only on IBM TV, and post that we have Tish show Plant a Good Seed, followed by our amazing Sasha Star, which just starts only on IBM TV. So do watch and join us on IBM TV. And it's time to wrap up.
Yeah, I think we ran over 15 minutes today. But it was a good talk, right? A lot of good fun. And
thank you for joining us today on Spiritual Saturday. And I would like to say Happy Independence Day to all our Indians around the world and all our friends and family around the world. And it's a good celebration to secure our independence from the Great Britain. So thank you. Ben is watching us. So
yeah, Ben is watching us. Look, Ben's watching while cooking. Yeah. We miss you, Ben. Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I'll quickly set
our ambassador.
कोरोना वायरस से कैसे बचेंगे? हैंड होकर और ऐसे अपने खांसी जब आएगी तो ऐसे करेंगे अच्छू अच्छू और कोरोना वायरस को धन्यवाद हमारा म्यूजिक सुनने का.
Thank you, and it's time to wrap up. Stay blessed and stay connected. Take care. Bye-bye.